and private sector stakeholders to ensure the reforms align the Nigeria's economic reactions and secure broad acceptance. President Tinubu, in establishing the committee, underscored the centrality of the effective implementation to his administration's economic transformation drive. A special security meeting has been held by the Southwest government to appraise security strategies with a view to updating and improving on them to curtail prevailing security threat in the region. Two states, Ekiti and Ondo, were absent, but far-reaching decisions were taken on the takeoff of the Southwest Security Trust Fund, aimed at ensuring that the region remained more stable and secured. Fowora Adesonwo reports.
Macpherson University Seriki Shotayo played host to top echelons in charge of security architecture in the Southwest. There had always been joint meeting of the special advisors on security of Oyo and Ogun, but recent security event informed the upgrade of the meeting to extend to Osun and Lagos State. Welcoming the heads of security outfits to the meeting, the special advisor to the governor on security, AIG Odushola Subar, retired, stressed the need to fortify security architecture of the Southwest for each free Yuletide and curtail insurgency. AIG Subar, retired, said the meeting was to review the previous engagements of November 2024 at the Dominion University Ibadan, where resolutions were made on the security situation along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway and adjoining routes, and identify shared vulnerabilities and adopt measures for a safe festive period, adding that states in the Southwest are committed to joint action to secure internal state borders.
I therefore urge all agencies to provide clear assessments, identify gaps, and commit to the actionable measures required for a safer holiday period and ensure the interstate and secure the interstate corridor.
Vice Chancellor Macpherson University Professor Francis Igbason said stability along shared corridors is needed for travelers, investors, farmers, residents, and all who relied on the cities in the Southwest for livelihood.
Security architecture in this country needs to be overhauled. We must be frank with ourselves. Federal government alone cannot do it. Federal government needs to give state power to have their own state police so that the policing will be effective. As it is today, it is not effective. It is not. We don't have enough manpower. And our policemen too, they are ill-equipped.
AIG Olushola Subar, retired, and his counterpart from Oyo State, CP Fatai Owoshieni, after the closed-door meeting, addressed the press.
We have come to some conclusions of some actions to take because we know the Yuletide period is fast approaching. We are going to have our people from the diaspora coming to celebrate here in Nigeria, and we want to give them the assurance that our states are safe.
Southwest is going to have a Southwest Security Trust Fund that will be more or less administered by the special advisors on security, and that the special advisors on security matters will be meeting monthly.
They appeal to traditional rulers, religion, and community leaders to say something if they see something unusual. Fowora Adesonwo, Ogtv News.
A call has gone to the state governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, to urgently implement the security recommendations reached at the Southwest Governors meeting in Ibadan, alongside that of the Southern Governors Forum meeting held in Ikweru on November 26, 2025. Speaker, Right Honorable Ludaisi Lemide, who made the call, also urged him to take immediate action on security concerns raised during the plenary, just as he appealed to the enforcement of existing laws and earlier resolutions passed by the Assembly to safeguard residents and citizens of the state. The call followed the presentation of a member representing Yoruba North 1 State constituency, Honorable Adegoke Adeyanju, who reported some security concerns in some parts of Ogun West arising from the influx of herders and ongoing open grazing activities in his constituency, Ojaodon, Ilaro, and adjoining communities under explanation during the plenary at the Assembly Complex, Okemoson, Abeokuta. Honorable Adeyanju stressed the need to be proactive in tackling security threat occasioned by the influx of foreign herders in the border communities in the senatorial district. The Speaker also instructed the Chairman, House Committee on Lands and Housing, Honorable Damilola Shoneye, to convene a meeting with the Surveyor General and other stakeholders on the need to address the issue of alleged land takeover by military personnel. Ijebu North East, as reported by a member representing the constituency, Honorable Oluseun Adesanya. Honorable Adesanya had earlier raised concerns over rising tension in Italy caused by the Nigerian army, which had reportedly fenced off between 20 and 25 villages, reporting that the development had triggered fears of displacement, apprehension, and potential conflict amongst the residents. In another development, Assembly has commiserated with Honorable Adebisi Ayodele and the people of Ikpokia local government over the death of a late political leader, Chief Musbawa Inde Olaiwola Obanla, who was a former chairman of the local government and until his passing, a member of the Governor's Advisory Council, and was on the board of the Governing Council of the Tai Solarin University of Education. The House of Representatives has commenced an investigation into the utilization of the $460 million loan for the CCTV project in Abuja, with assurances of collaboration from the Ministry of Finance, the Budget Office of the Federation, and the Debt Management Office. The Speaker of the House, Abbas Tajuddin, said that the House cannot afford to sit back and watch as the security of Nigerians is compromised, but will deploy legislative means to address the rising insecurity in the country. Abbas, who spoke while inaugurating the Special Ad hoc Committee to investigate rising insecurity and loss of several lives in the FCT, despite the CCTV project secured with a Chinese loan of $460 million, said the House intends to find out the state of the project and where the money went. It said that despite the huge investment, crimes of kidnapping and robbery occur with frequent loss of lives and property, turning the city into a nightmare of residents. Speaker Abbas said further that it is not just a question of financial probity, but one that borders on national security and public trust, saying the Nigerian people deserve answers. They deserve to know if these funds have been effectively deployed or tragically squandered. It said heads of government agencies invited for the investigation should see it as a clarion call to act, a collective challenge that demands cooperation and constructive support. The federal government has rolled out the ECOWAS National Biometric Identity Card to foster the ease of doing business, promote economic prosperity, and enhance security within the sub-region. The project, a brainchild of the Nigerian Immigration Service, came on stream after 11 years of its conception. 6 countries within the region have already rolled out the project in line with ECOWAS protocol to address security issues and boost the economies of member states of ECOWAS. Speaking at the event, the Secretary to the Governor of the Federation, Judge Akume, represented by the Permanent Secretary, Cabinet Office, Alhaji Mohammed Sanusi Danjuma, described the ECOWAS card as a powerful engine for regional transformation. Akume, who praised President Bola Tinubu, the Minister of Interior, Dr. Tunji Ojo, and the Comptroller General of Immigration, Kemi Nada, for accelerating the process for the launch of the cards, said the cards would unlock opportunities for businesses, promote regional trade, and ensure digital identity and authentication for citizens within the ECOWAS member countries. It said Nigeria's commitment towards regional integration and free movement of migrants within the region remained consistent and resolute, adding that the rollout of the ECOWAS card is not the end of the journey, but a powerful new beginning. Ogun State government has advocated for temporary ban on exportation of lead ingot from the state with immediate effect. This assertion was made during the inspection carried out in Ogijo, in Shagamu local government area of the state, in view of threatening video in circulation over alleged lead poisoning in the Ogijo environment. The Commissioner for Environment, Ola Oresoya, who led a team of experts from the Ministries of Environment, Health, Ogun State Environmental Protection Agency, OGIPA, in conjunction with the National Environmental Standards and Regulation Enforcement Agency team, also announced the closure of 7 industries that are involved in used lead acid battery recycling within the Ogijo community. While allaying the fears of residents of the state and Ogijo community in particular, the Commissioner said the state government will conduct a health and process audit of the industries and test for the level of lead in human soil, air and water bodies around the industrial town. They therefore promised to make public disclosure of the test findings while interrogating the process used for the previous test provided in the media reports in circulation. Still ahead, FCT Minister revokes 1,095 property titles over non-payment of statutory land charges. More news and reports after this break.
Progress no dey happen just like that. It dey come from support when you need help.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point o.
Money point, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer o.
Na money point oga. Oh, na confirm.
Progress na peace of mind when you know say payment go land as sure banker. Progress na small wind wey dey carry person go far.
No worry, yourself go make am. No go buy ball.
Victor, even you dey use money point?
Of course na, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money point, made for your progress.
Glad to have you back. The news at 8 continues. The Abeokuta chapter of the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria has inaugurated its 5th chairman, Engineer Bolanle Folusho Adeoye, in a well-attended ceremony. Ogun State Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele, who graced the occasion, charged women engineers to take bolder steps in leadership, policymaking, and national development. Our reporter, Margaret Okunlola, has the details.
Leadership baton has changed hands at the Abeokuta chapter of the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, APWEN. Outgoing chairman, Engineer Funmi Alayaki, formally handed over to the 5th chapter chairman, Engineer Bolanle Folusho Adeoye, at a ceremony held in Abeokuta. Ogun State Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele, commends the outgoing executive for a job well done, urging the new team to prioritize collaboration, mentorship, and greater visibility for women in engineering.
Technical skill alone is no longer enough to influence systems, shape industries, and contribute meaningfully to national development. Field engineers must also be equipped with soft skills.
Guest speaker, Professor Hakim Rahim, delivers a lecture titled Building a Sustainable Future Through Engineering, Innovation and Inclusive Entrepreneurship.
Collaboration is very essential, as I've said, and I hope that as Bolanle is coming in as the 5th chairman of APWEN, you should be able to get a lot of collaboration from industries.
Dignitaries, including leaders of engineering bodies, Family members and colleagues expressed strong confidence in Engineer Adeoye's capacity to take the chapter to greater heights.
Challenging to empower these spirits, let's mentor more young girls into STEM. Imagine the Fatimans of tomorrow multiplying across the state and beyond.
While we made this progress, there is still room for improvement and more progress. I strongly believe that my successor, Engineer Adeoye, will make use of every opportunity for further improvement.
Your emergency testament to your competence, dedication, and trust that members of Abeokuta chapter they have in your ability to lead with vision and integrity.
And put my weight behind her and for her to succeed. So what's expected of me as the husband of the chairman is also for me to be the chairman of APWEN. Of course, I've been the APWEN man.
Responding on behalf of the new executive, Engineer Bolanle Adeoye promises to encourage, enhance, and excel in steering the association forward.
We shall prioritize the systematic and dynamic learning culture when members are encouraged to learn, unlearn, and relearn for growth. We want to collaborate with bodies and stakeholders to make engineering more attractive to young girls.
Highlights of the event included presentation of awards to outstanding secondary school students, mentored under APWEN's Catch Them Young program, and recognition of distinguished personalities. Margaret Okunlola, Ogtv News.
In a bid to promote excellence and motivate students to be committed to doing well in attaining best grades, Ogun State government has gave out 19 million naira cash awards to students who have distinguished themselves in their education pursuits. The Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, while distributing the checks to the best graduating student from Olabisi Onabanjo Mountain University, Babcock University, and Ogun State Institute of Technology, Igbesa, said the present administration has been consistently rewarding excellence right from its inception, assuring that it would continue to prioritize education.
So it shows that something good is happening in the education sector in Ogun State. And I want to assure our parents that this government will continue to prioritize education.
In his remarks, the Vice Chancellor of Mountain Top University, Professor Elijah Ayolabi, commended the present administration for its giant stride and landmark achievements in the state education sector through its developmental initiative and innovations. Responding, two of the best graduating students, Aishat Dauda from Olabisi Onabanjo University and Sadiq Afolabi from Ogun State Institute of Technology, Igbesa, appreciated the government for the cash award, pledging they will continue to do their best and be good ambassador of the state. Meanwhile, the Ogun State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, has clamored that for a society that desires growth and socio-economic transformation, continuity of developmental initiative and innovation should be considered and maintained. Professor Arigbabu made the statement during a day workshop organized by the ministry in collaboration with Ogun State Skills Fund for the key stakeholders in the sector. Arigbabu charged stakeholders to take advantage of the workshop and embrace the new wave of technological innovations and initiatives of the present government.
Changes to already announced, the ministry, struggling in the industry, starting to work up. So then, we achieved an initiative to a lot of this one. Let us be open, let us be ready to actually keep with this change and be agents of change.
Speaking, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Mrs. Oluwatosin Oloho, enjoined participants to ensure they effect knowledge gained in the workshops in their day-to-day activities, adding that self-development would also go a long way to improving their service delivery. In his presentation, the resources person who doubled as a skills development consultant of the Ogun State Skills Fund, Engineer Adeshegun Fatoki, hinted that Ogun State was the only Satiport accredited center and national skills qualification awarding body in the country. The Agoiwoye Secondary School All Students Association has launched a 3-day celebration to mark the institution's 70th anniversary. The milestone was highlighted by the commissioning of a modern hall and toilet facilities, a press conference, and a community awareness walk through key parts of Agoiwoye. Nkem Ago reports.
Agoiwoye Secondary School, founded in 1954, is a co-educational boarding school in Ijebu North Local Government Area, Ogun State. As one of the first-generation schools in the state, it has produced notable alumni over the decades. The 70th anniversary celebration began at the school premises with alumni unveiling a newly constructed hall aimed at enhancing both academic and social activities. The hall is a key contribution from the Old Students Association, reflecting their commitment to improving the learning environment and raising funds for the school. Following the commissioning, a press conference was held where the former head boy and current chairman of the Platoon Anniversary Committee, Dr. Femi Bakri, highlighted the significance of the milestone and reiterated dedication to advancing education in Ogun State.
The success of this historic celebration depends on the connection effort of all. We call on every alumnus, both at home and abroad, to join us in this endeavor. We need your presence, we need your ideas, we need your support. A major aspect of this anniversary will be a fundraising drive to execute other critical projects for the school. We urge you to make the weight and resources to achieve this.
The president of the Agoiwoye Secondary School Old Students Association, Sataye Shogeson, spoke on the importance of the school's infrastructure upgrades in supporting students' academic growth.
This hall can serve as a CPT center. The only thing missing here is the number of laptops that should be provided. The moment we have enough laptops in this place, this hall can take over 1,200 students at the same time when you arrange the hall in the classroom format.
The celebration continued with a vibrant awareness walk, starting from the school gate, passing through Olokomeri Junction and concluding at Ebumawe Palace in Agoiwoye. Alumni, students, and community members marched with banners and commemorative materials, promoting the school's legacy and the week-long anniversary activities.
Whatever it becomes today, this gave us an so we should not overlook them. This is a way of giving back to the school that made us what we had today. So we continue to appeal to them not to forget their source, to always support the school in their own little way.
Additional programs over the 3 days will honor the school's history while strengthening its future's impacts in Ken Agu. Ogtv News.
And away from education, Ogun State government has announced a comprehensive amnesty program aimed at helping property owners regularize buildings constructed without approved planning permit. Addressing a press conference in Abeokuta, Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Town Planner Tunji Odunlami, explained that Governor Dapo Abiodun approved the initiative to ease the financial burden on residents and encourage compliance with planning regulations. Bomi Adegun was there and he completes the story.
As Ogun State continues its push for safer, orderly,
and well-regulated urban growth. The government is intensifying efforts to ensure that physical developments across the state follow approved planning standards. Over the years, many property owners have embarked on construction without securing the required permits, creating challenges for infrastructure planning, environmental management, and urban safety. It was against this backdrop that the Ogun State Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Town Planner Olatunji Odunlami, announced a new amnesty program during a press briefing in Abeokuta.
In his characteristic magnanimity and commitment to supporting residents, businesses, and industries, this end-of-year concession by His Excellency the Governor is aimed at easing the financial burden on property owners, promoting greater compliance with fiscal planning law and regulations across the state, strengthening our planning database for better infrastructure planning, supporting the formalization of properties for future transactions, valuations, and investments, and further the administration's determination to promote safer and orderly development across the state.
The commissioner explained that many residents have developed or are still developing properties without securing the required approvals under the state urban and regional planning law. He emphasized that the amnesty covers all categories of developments: residential, commercial, industrial, institutional, and mixed-use structures.
Our headquarters at Okemoson, Abeokuta, and the 32 zonal planning offices spread across the state have been instructed to offer seamless, transparent, and efficient processing throughout the amnesty period.
The commissioner also addressed the rampant misuse of road and highway setbacks across Ogun State. He said the government is deeply concerned about the rise of shanties, makeshift shops, container stores, signages, markets, truck parks, and other illegal activities occupying these spaces. Odunlami directed property owners along major highways, including the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Abeokuta-Shagamu Interchange, Shagamu-Benin Expressway, Lagos-Abeokuta Highway, and other key corridors, to immediately remove all unauthorized structures within setback areas. He added that, in line with the state's green initiative, owners may apply to adopt cleared setbacks for beautification and landscaping at no cost, while the ministry encourages voluntary compliance. He warned that enforcement will begin without further notice, and defaulters may face sanctions, including withdrawal of planning permits and abatement charges. Bumi Adigun, Ogtv News.
The Federal Capital Territory Administration has commenced enforcement actions on 1,085 property titles recently revoked over the non-payment of statutory land charges. Larry Olayenka, the Senior Special Assistant on Public Communications and Social Media to the FCT Minister Yemsen Wike, discussed this in Abuja. He said affected properties were in Asokoro, Maitama, Garki, and Wuse district of the Federal Capital City, while 835 properties were related to default on ground rent. 260 others involved violations connected to land use conversion fees and other penalties. The administration said it had issued multiple public notices between May and November 2025 via national newspapers, online platforms, and television stations, warning defaulters to clear their liabilities or risk losing their titles. Wike's aide said his principal approved the enforcement after the expiration of the final 14-day grace period on November 25. The commissioning ceremony of the Ifeoluwa Cooperative Residential Building draws community members and dignitaries together as newly completed structure was unveiled in Abeokuta. The event, celebrated for its modern design and commitment to comfort, marks a significant milestone in the effort to expand quality housing within the area. Adedamola Adeniji was there, and his report is presented from our studios.
A remarkable new building marks a major milestone for the Ifeoluwa Cooperative Multipurpose Union Limited as it officially opens its door, with members and stakeholders gathering for a colorful commissioning ceremony. The event, which attracts a large turnout, celebrates the culmination of months of planning, construction and collaboration, all aimed at providing quality and affordable housing for residents within the area. Speaking at the ceremony, the Union President Alhaji Abdulrazak Adebolu describes the Ifeoluwa residential building as more than a housing project. He says it represents a new chapter, one that reflects a commitment to community development, improved living conditions and sustainable growth. He also installs Matthew Oke as the Ariga Bureau of Ifeoluwa Cooperative Multipurpose Union.
We are commissioning the house God gave us. That is a 2-story building, 18 flats. That is what we are doing today.
The Director of Cooperative Service, Samuel Mustafa, represented by Sharif Animashan, states that the building is expected to ease residential pressure in the area. He commissions the project, while guest speakers note that the development will serve as a model for future community-led housing initiatives.
Very happy. Today is a joyous day for me and the entire cooperative movement in Ogun State. We are celebrating the Ifeoluwa CMU Limited, Idiaba, on the commissioning of their new apartment being commissioned today. So we are very, very happy, and this is what cooperative sector, the value we are adding to the ecosystem of Ogun State.
Members and guests take a guided tour of the facility, with many expressing satisfaction with its finishing and emphasizing the need for more investment in the housing sector, especially at a time when urban population growth continues to increase demand for reliable accommodation.
Today's event, it's just a show of our cooperative work. What we witness here today is the collective efforts of the many societies here.
I'm very happy today. I'm very delighted because this is one of the things that they have been promoting in all the conference we have been going, that cooperation among cooperative. When we have cooperation among ourselves, there's limit to what we can do. The sky is our starting point. So I just want to encourage other unions and society to continue to cooperate.
Residents and stakeholders commended the commissioning of the Ifeoluwa residential building, saying it contributes significantly to improving the quality of life within the community.
Grammy-winning Malam superstar Omar Sangare is enjoying a fresh wave of fame in Nigeria as a 1996 hit song suddenly goes viral. Nearly 3 decades after its release, the track has found new life on Just watching Ogtv News. The Christian wake for the late Madame Motomori Abake Amosu, mother of the Federal Commissioner for Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, Honorable Akim Amosu, has brought family, friends and sympathizers together at a residence in Abeokuta. Olaide Oloye reports.
The solemn procession begins at the General Hospital Ijayi, where family members, sympathizers and loved ones gather to receive the remains of the late matriarch. Madame Motomori Abake Amosu is led home by the family. Amid quiet reflection and low celebrations, the convoy proceeds to our Amolasho residence, venue of the waking service. During the service, Bible readings, hymns and prayers are offered in our honor, encouraging the family and celebrating our life. The atmosphere is a blend of tears and thanksgiving, a mix of sorrow and gratitude for a life rooted in faith, service and love. Tributes pour in from children, relatives, neighbors and associates who praise her humility, generosity and firm faith in God, describing her as a virtuous woman, a devoted Christian and a supportive mother.
She was a diligent, hardworking, and compassionate mother.
Speaking at the ceremony, her son, the Federal Commissioner, Honorable Akim Amosu, expresses gratitude to all present, noting that his mother lived a life of impact, discipline, and unwavering commitment to peace and family unity. The officiating minister reminded attendees of the hope of eternal life, urging the congregation to live lives worthy of God's calling, just as the late Madam Amosun did. The Christian Wake served both as a farewell and a celebration of a well-lived life, as preparations continue for the burial of the 75-year-old matriarch. Olaide Oloye, Ogtv News.
Up next is a business news with Olayemi Takuro. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to Business News. The federal government's power sector reforms are yielding measurable results, with over 2 billion in fresh capital flowing into the industry since the current administration took office. The Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, has said he made this known in Lagos during the PricewaterhouseCoopers Annual Power and Utilities Roundtable 2025 with the theme, Nigeria's multi-tier electricity markets, imperatives for successful evolution. At the heart of the power sector reform agenda is the long-standing metering crisis, where, for instance, 6 million consumers have been metered out of 13 million registered power consumers in Nigeria. However, this leaves nearly half of electricity users on estimated billing, a system widely criticized as unreliable and exploitative. The Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited increased its investments in the country's 3 non-operational refineries to 2.92 trillion naira in 2024, even though the facilities have yet to resume steady production after years of rehabilitation delays and repeated shifts in government timelines. Figures contained in the company's audited 2024 financial statements show that total investments in the Port Harcourt, Kaduna and Warri refineries rose from 1.72 trillion in 2023 to 2.92 trillion in 2024. This represents an increase of 1.196 trillion or 69.5% within 1 year. The data appear under investments in subsidiaries in the company's separate financial statement. Investments in Port Harcourt Refinery Company increased from 607.32 in 2023 to 1.143 trillion in 2024. This is a rise of 469.16 billion, which amounts to 69.6%. Kaduna Refining and Petrochemical Company saw investments increase from 641.71 billion naira to 1.88 trillion, a rise of 444.648 billion or 69.6%. Warri Refinery and Petrochemical Company also recorded an increase in investments from 402.96 billion to 683.33 billion, an increase of 69.6%. The Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Kingsley Ude, on Friday in Abuja outlined the federal government's plan to mandate a 30% value addition on all raw materials prior to exports, describing the initiative as one of the most significant steps towards the industrialization of Nigeria. Ude stated this at a press briefing held shortly after the one-day National Advocacy and Sensitization Conference held in Abuja. The conference was organized to raise awareness among stakeholders about the recently passed Raw Materials Research and Development Council 30% Value Addition Bill, which is currently awaiting presidential assent. According to Ude, the law will ensure that before any of our natural wealth in the form of raw materials is exported, at least 30% value will be added to such resources, natural wealth or raw materials. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has reported 74.5